Hello, and welcome to Notary Life with Kimmy. Well, hey guys, for those of you who do not know, I am Kimmy. I am a notary here in the state of Georgia, but I'm also a trainer and own Notary Educators, which is our training group. And that's where we teach you how to be a great notary and how to have that great foundation, and then you can build your business, okay? Because you have to have a good foundation. You cannot just get your commission like most states would have you do and just go out there and start stamping papers, okay? So check us out at NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. But today I want to talk about me being afraid of doing apostilles. Yes, the girl was afraid of doing apostilles. So first of all, let's talk about what an apostille is really quick. An apostille is a document that needs to have a higher level of authentication prior to leaving the United States, okay? It's a process that your clients can do themselves, but most people do not want to tackle it because it's just really involved and they have to know what they're doing, just like you have to as a notary. Now, you do not have to be a notary in order to process apostilles. They're processed by the Secretary of State or usually a state level entity, okay? So in my case, in Georgia, they don't start at the Secretary of State. I have to take it to another location. And then sometimes it may have to go to the Secretary of State. So that's going to be a state-specific thing. But their process in all 50 states just about the same. A few little nuances, okay? So why was I afraid? I was afraid of the unknown. I did not know how to do them. I did not know what it was. It was a big boogeyman word. And I was frightened to death. So I started learning about them. It took me about maybe 3 to 4 months. I actually started learning about them. At the same time I was learning about them, I didn't know my other trainer and Angela was also learning about them. So she would take what she knew, I took what I knew, and we got the first one done, right? Angela ended up taking the bull by the horns though, and she is a queen beast master at doing apostilles, okay? I'm still not a beast master, but I overcame my fear. And let me tell you how. Knowledge is power, okay? Knowledge is power. I overcame my fear by just simply continuing to learn the process. And then I had to go ahead and start executing. I had to start taking them. So last year I did a few. And the year before that, my goal was actually to learn how to do them, okay? So when the phone would ring, sometimes I would just call Angela automatically and say, hey, I got an apostille, and give it to her. And then I started thinking about the money that I was losing. I don't mind helping my friend out, but I'm like, excuse me, I'm in business too over here, right? So I ended up taking the bull by the horns myself. I learned what I could. I went ahead and started doing it. And I was like, okay, this is not that hard. There's actually 3 levels to apostille. There's your local level, your state level, and then sometimes they have to go to Washington, D.C. That's the Mac Daddy of them all. Apostilles pay very well is the other reason I had to overcome my fear, as I was saying earlier. Each one of these jobs for one document, the one I'm going to pick up today, I'm going to meet my client. I'm going to tell you what's going on with this client really quick. But I'm going to meet my client and I'm charging them $175. Now, depending on where you live at, you may be able to charge even more. My client actually wanted rush day service, but I talked to him a few days ago. And short story about apostilles and this client I'm doing right now, he called me a few days ago. He was like, hey, I need to get an apostille done. And I was like, okay, cool. And he said, I can come and meet you like in a couple of hours to bring me the document. Well, he didn't call back. And I was like, well, whatever. I'm not going to call him. I'm not going to chase him down. Part 2 of that conversation is I had one with Alexis. And she said, hey, I do call people back and confirm they actually needed some service from you. Or obviously needed some service from you. So yeah, I'm going to call them back and, you know, act like I want the business. So I don't know what was wrong with me because I did not do that. And I'm actually going the wrong way. I started this video. Anyway, because I got to go meet my client first. So let me turn here. I'm not too far out the way. I got to meet him and pick up the document. So Alexis was making some valid points. You know, I need to humble myself because I was like, well, I ain't got to chase nobody down to get their business. If they want me, they can call me back. Don't asked me why I was thinking that way, but she was like, no, you do need to follow up. And she's followed up too. And sometimes when it comes to apostilles, it can take weeks or sometimes even months for the client to get all of their documents together and what they need to have processed. They might have to go back to the original state. They might have to go to different entities within that state. It may be a college, like college transcripts. They have to go to the college and get the transcripts. So it's a lot involved with apostilles. So you don't want to fake it till you make it. I've seen people in Facebook groups trying to just figure it out, you know, piece by piece, and it's like you don't want to do that. These are high dollar jobs, and in order to make the money and have repeat business and clients, you have to be able to provide excellent service. It cannot be mishmash, willy-nilly, and you know, I think I got it. No, you need to have it. Now, if you got a question or so, that's fine. So Angela is our official apostille instructor. But I really wanted to do this video because if you're not doing apostilles and you are a notary or not a notary, again, you don't have to be one. The reason it's recommended to be a notary when you're doing apostilles is because some documents do require notarization. Okay? So remember, the final processing comes from your Secretary of State or whatever entity. But as a notary, you may have to notarize some of those documents. So if you are a notary, you can do the notarization. If you're not a notary and you decide to do apostilles, then you're going to have to hire a notary. So that's why it's often recommended that you are the notary so that you can keep all the money in-house, right? So the document today I'm doing is a birth certificate. The child was born here in the state of Georgia. I am taking it again to the Secretary of State. Not the Secretary of State, because again, in Georgia's process is a little bit different. I am taking it to our Georgia Clerk County office. Okay, so you need to know how to do it. I have like 6 videos on apostilles, if not more, because I don't even remember, guys. But I'll just give you a few tips here. When you're processing your apostilles, like any other process we teach you, you need to screen your client. Where is the document going? Where did the document originate? How many documents is it? What type of document is it? Okay, so you need to ask a few questions. So I overcame my fear, and quite honestly, I'm still a little afraid sometimes doing apostilles. Full transparency with y'all. I'm still a little nervous, but I'm not going to stop it from letting me get my money. So I'm on my way. Like I said, I got to go meet my client. So normally what happens for those of you who may be new to apostilles, either you have to meet the client or the client will bring the document to you. So I do both, you know, like in this case, I'm going to meet him. He lives actually an hour and a half away from me. So he found me on my Google page. I'm dropping so many gems here, guys. I actually have a website this year. It actually started last year. I got a website. Before that, I just had a landing page. So now, because I have the website, my reach is further. I like to compare it to the landing page is just, you know I have a house, you know, or, you know, it's just one thing people can just land on. But when you have a website, the whole world knows that you have a website. So now my reach is further. And in this case, this guy's calling me from an hour and a half away. So I didn't want him to drive all the way. And I try to make it convenient for him. And I will drive to him, another gym, if he needed me to, and charge a travel fee on top of the apostille fee. But today, because I'm already going down to the office, I'm meeting him halfway. He was very appreciative. And the same will work on the reverse. Once I get the document apostilled, I will meet the client. I will give it back to him. And save him some time. Now, if he can't meet me when it's convenient for me and I'm not charging him anything extra, now he's going to have to come and meet me at my home and pick it up. So I will do it, and depending on how much it is, the job, you know, I might include taking it to them. Again, it's a lot of factors and variables. How far are they, you know, from me? How far are they from the Clerk County office where I have to get the apostille completed? So it's a lot of different things that go into the apostille again. So I ain't afraid no more. I'm not afraid, and I cannot afford to be afraid. Right now, as everyone knows, loan signings are a little challenging. It's just facts. And first of the year, last quarter, you know, things winding down. People not shaking and moving a lot. Now, in the next couple months, They will be just shaking and moving, doing their thing. Let me see if I close this. No, we need that light. They will be shaking and moving, doing their thing, you know, or whatever. So, but it's a nice addition to your business. Again, I'm charging this client, this particular situation, this particular circumstance, $175, and most people don't. It take a whole week to make that, right? I'm about to make that for like 2 hours. 2 hours worth of work. Maybe let's say 2.5. But even if it is 2.5, to me that's some good money. And I can't speak for everybody else, but for me and my business plan, that's some good money. So, last thing, you may say, well, Kimmy, why would somebody pay you $175 to do that when it only costs like $3? Tell me that. Why? Because it's like a service, first of all, like anything else. Why do people pay Uber Eats when they can get in their car? Most of the time, they have a car. They can go up there and pick it up their own self, right? But you don't feel like it. It's cold. You in your underoos and you just watching TV and you want it delivered. I did that one day. I wanted Chick-fil-A one morning. It was so cold. Jeff was out, my husband, he's out doing his thing, whatever. And I was sitting there watching me some movies and I was like, I want some Chick-fil-A, because that wasn't my plan to eat Chick-fil-A. I called Uber Eats and that chicken sandwich meal cost me $21. Okay? I could have went and picked it up. I got 2 cars. I could have went and picked it up. Always got gas in the car, okay? But I didn't feel like it. And then too, like I was mentioning earlier with apostilles, it's a skill, it's a talent, okay? Everybody don't know how to process them. Most notaries do not know how to process them. So anytime you can do something that somebody else cannot do, that's where your value comes in. Anytime. So that's why I'm big on knowing how to properly notarize. Yeah, they can call any notary to come and do it. But if you don't know how to properly notarize that document and it has errors on it and it's all jacked up and they got to call me out there to redo it, I'm the skilled notary. So that's why I can request more money. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing with apostilles. If you know what you're doing, now you are skilled. It's something nobody can take away from you. Like that expression, if you teach a man how to fish, you know, he'll know how to do it for the rest of his life. You can give him a fish, but if you teach them how to do it. So that's why I'm big on learning. And a lot of times today people are really bashing training and bashing trainers. I'm actually getting ready to do another video about training. I'm gonna do that live so I can answer some questions at the same time. But all that being said, guys, add apostilles to your notary business. You have to. You have to. If you want to be successful, I do apostilles, I do ink fingerprinting, I know how to complete the I-9 form. I have trainings on all of this. And this is another thing about training. I will say you can take 2 to 3 years to learn everything like me, you know, 4 years if you got time. You can do that. Or you can pay me and take one of my training, my self-paced courses or live training, and you can get what you need within 2 hours. So you want the express way or you want to do it the slow way. It's totally up to you. I'm all about self-teaching. But if self-teaching is not going to get you where you need in the, you know, the amount of time or whatever, then now we got to do something different, right? Because you don't want to be sitting around trying to take 4 years when you could, like I said, learn it in 2 hours. So I'm going to wrap this video up. But again, add apostilles to your business. And again, I really want to hit that point that people will pay you for a skill. And if you know how to do it and get it done correctly, because these documents are affecting people's lives. We're talking adoptions. We're talking destination weddings. We're talking they might be trying to buy some property. And your documents are not executed properly with the apostille in the process, you're going to lose business. However, I do this job correctly because I know what to do. I ask my client for a review, and then that boosts me in Google. My algorithm and all that goes up. So you see how it's just win-win-win when you have the proper foundation. So even though I kind of knew what to do, I wasn't going to fake it till I make it. I needed to know what I was doing at least somewhat. I couldn't get in Facebook and say, now what do I do again? So that's why I'm big on training too. So I'm out of here, guys. NotaryEducatorsLLC.com for all of your training needs. Don't be afraid like me. And if you are, you got to get out there and just do it like Nike. All right. Until next time, this is Notary Life with Kimmy. Bye.